Alright. I also brought some things I'd like to show.
Okay.
That's why this bag is so heavy. Alright. So, as you can see in the pretty big bold letters, my name is Jacqueline McDonald, and this is my very first TPOL. Here, high-tech children. One of the things that I've wanted to improve since my POL was my art. So if you scroll down a little bit, you can see some examples I made 2 or 3 days before my TPOL. What I wanted to improve was really putting myself into my art and getting like a unique style out of it. Something that you'd only be able to get in like one place, me. I changed the ways I draw eyes. I don't know why I did this, but I think it looks pretty cool. I wanted to simplify certain things, and I enjoy how it turns out. I mostly draw the same people, but I've tried to reach out of my comfort zone with drawing other characters. Have I drawn other people than I have before? Not really, but that wasn't on the improvement plan anyways, so we don't have to care about that part. If I were to put everything recent that I've drawn, it'd probably all be the same dude except for good 4. That's a little sad. Well, no, I know that I've definitely improved from even my POL, which is great, and I hope to take that further as I stay here at High Tech High. Staying on the same topics as art, I love seeing the art behind video games. That is why I have these relics. These are art books, a very pricey hobby. Yeah, I can set them here if you'd like to almost browse through them. Basically, it features a lot of things like the concepts of characters and like the story, backgrounds, so many different things. This was a series I used to be obsessed with called Ace Attorney. It's all like a lawyer series. And honestly, I just think it made a huge chunk of like my old personality. It's something that has been the foundation of who I am today. It's also just really interesting to see the characters and whatnot that I enjoy today, and how they've like almost like flourished into like what they used to be, and like the concepts and everything like that. It's just seeing how things like grow and like turn into what they are now is just a very interesting concept for me. If you know a single thing about me, it's not like video games. It's like the only thing I do. I get home, I go to my room, I sit on the office chair that my grandma gave me, and I play video games an unhealthy amount for hours on end. I get home, other than eat dinner, play video games. On the weekends, I play video games. It's probably very unhealthy, but it's what I enjoy doing. I've founded so many relationships on video games. Like, a lot of my friendships are because of I have a friend group I met online that we've met up in person. We've just had such a connection because of, our hobbies, of things we do together. And my family plays a bunch of video games. My brother, my other brother, we've robbed my sister into it too. Kind of dragged her into it. It's very great. So it's just a way I can bond with my family. I'd like to thank my mom for putting me into this addiction. When I was 3, she bought us the Wii U, and that is the foundation of who I am today. Enough about video game ranting and stuff. A huge academic goal was to get past my freshman year with all A's, and maybe if my mom would let me, some B's, which luckily did not happen. But I'm happy that I accomplished my goal with all A minuses. Sadly, once I looked at my power score at 8:36 p.m. the night before my TPOL, I think I'm very proud of the work I put into this year. This was when I put it on my portfolio. There were 2 A pluses and then an A minus. So then I'm very glad that I was able to do that. And the strategy I wanted to do with that was my planner. And just to see if it worked and all that, I tried it out. Mr. Ted's assignment logs, I just did those in my planner. So I used that for a while, and then I kind of just stopped. I fell out of it. But considering how I'm doing right now, I feel like I still did a pretty good job with it. So even if it didn't work for me, I had to find an alternative. So what I did was I would check my emails fairly often. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd go on my phone, I'd be like, I wonder what Gmail has in store for me. So I checked my emails, and then sometimes at school, I just checked them to see like what was going on. Sometimes before I went to sleep. So I feel like having that scheduled, knowing when everything is due and whatnot, I like set this into like my daily life to know like how to keep up with my own grades and everything. For my habits of heart and mind, when I struggled with the most was compassion. The reason for this is because in a very new environment, with people that I didn't know, I sort of had this like fend for myself mentality, as I knew that I was very self-sufficient and that I could do a lot of things on my own, but knowing it's a group-based project school, that's not gonna cut it. So of course I had to really push myself into doing like group work. And an example of this would be the Light on Literacy box project. Unfortunately, my partner did not do as much as they could have really, so I really had to push myself into doing more work than that was assigned to me. After finishing all of my lights, I feel like, or sides, what I really thought was compassion was even while he was gone and everything, I redrew another 2 of his sides to put on the light, as well as refining absolutely everything on Tinkercad, which took a lot of time, as I had to refine it multiple times because one of the sides cut out wrong, and I had to like rummage through like everything that could have possibly made it wrong until we figured it out. Mr. Ted and I figured it out, and then we were able to print it out and finally assemble the light. It was one of the best things I've ever done, honestly. It was extremely time-consuming, and the thing that kept me going, my driving force, was my amazing little buddy, Annabella. I'm devastated that I wasn't able to see her and give her my light personally, but I'm glad to have met her, and without her, I probably wouldn't like first graders. But hey, Annabella is a pretty cool first grader. I feel like she was really kind and sweet, and it was really nice to like almost see my view on children shift, as I know that there's certain good children in the world that are still here in 2023. So if it wasn't for her, I probably would have like failed a project or something. I would have, the light would be half finished because I do all my work, and then I'd probably go to sleep in class or something, because I don't know if my partner would have been able to do it without the work I put into it, I'll be honest. Compassion was one of the only reasons I was able to pull through, so I feel like my goal was well accomplished. This is a funny reader's note I put at the end of my speech. P.S. I got sick over the weekend somehow, so I wasn't sure if I was able to do my TPOL, but as of writing this, 9:10 p.m. the night before, I don't feel too bad other than my awfully congested nose. And here I am, my nose isn't as congested, and honestly, I feel pretty great. And that is the end of my speech in TPOL.
Okay, so we're going to do the math, okay? And then,
oh yeah.
did you choose one, or did
I choose one?
No.
No, I did not.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I'm rolling up my sleeves for this one. Number 5. Oh, I got this. All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to show every single one, right? There's just one. Okay, let's start with this triangle. So as you can see, first you're given two sides on each triangle that you know are congruent based on the 2 lines you see here and the 3 lines you see here. Basically just means that this is like side number 2 and this is like side number 3. So you're given 2 sides. And then once you have the 2 triangles that are intersecting right here, you're given an angle because you see the angles are connecting, which means they're automatically congruent. They're both in between the sides, so based on what I know, there should be side angle side congruence. And the reason you know this, I don't think I have to write this all down.
No.
You're given 2 congruent sides, and then once you're given a connecting, which is called vertical angles, you're given right here, so then it automatically means you have an angle. So it's side, angle, side. All right, let me. I can just erase this. Oh, I think it's this side. All right, now for this one right here. As I said before, side, side. Something's a little different about this triangle because now you have a. It's a congruent side. I know it has a specific name, but it's like slipping out of my brain right now. But when they're connecting like this, you already have the side given to you. So this would be side, side, side congruent. So because you're not really given an angle, so you know it's congruent by all three sides. All right. Last challenge. All right, now this time, you're given two angles, which means angle, angle. So you know it's gonna have A in it. Like we stated before, the two triangles are connecting, meaning they have a side that they share. Seeing how the side is in between both angles, this would make it angle, side, angle, congruence. All right. And now, for this one, you're still given two angles and a side. But the one that makes it different from this one is that the side isn't in between both angles, which may make it either SAA or AAS congruence. I can write that down. My math teacher, Mr. G, gave us both ways to write it, so there wasn't really like a specific way that you could do SAA or AAS, so I'm pretty sure he gave us, I'm not sure which one, he gave us both. I'm writing down both. All right, now for our final challenger. Whew. All right, this one's gonna be a little bit different. So, see this. This is a right angle, a right vertical angle, which means to this, that these are obviously both congruent, but you have to think about this in a different way. So, it's like Pythagorean's theorem. You're given like two sides. One of them is going to be on the diagonal of a triangle, which is called the hypotenuse. And this one, which is like on one of the flat sides of the triangle, is called the leg. So basically, once you see the right angle, you should be like, man, it has a hypotenuse and a leg. That's crazy. So this would just be HL congruence. That should be all the triangles, right?
Wow. Wow.
The reason I'm standing up is because that is the best out of 2 days explanations of all those problems.
Thank you.
Yay!
Math is probably the thing I pride myself on the most out of any subject. Science, maybe. I struggled a little bit in the physics department other than when we had to do the equations. I'm like, this is my thing. Humanities. Sometimes I go to my sister's room, I'm like, Nazi, can you write my essay for me?
Oh, I've
I'll
written
do all
multiple
your math problems, please.
Well,
I
have
don't
a seat, Jackie.
All right, time
Okay.
for
So
practical
we're
review.
we've got one more. So we're gonna. I just have to say yes. This no one mentioned side angle, or angle side. You're the first one to mention that, and it's kind of obvious that it's both.
Yeah.
Angle side angle. No one ever said that this side, number 3, was the hypotenuse. I even asked people that one. It was just like, which one of these is the hypotenuse? And nobody knew. Not a single person.
Not a single
I was
person?
totally surprised, and I think it's because they're sideways.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty easy.
It is, because it's always going to be the diagonal one.
Always. So,
Oh, yeah.
anyway, just to let you know that was just outstanding. And you look like it was in your. This is
Definitely.
what I do.
This is what I do.
Yeah. Actually, I have absolutely no questions for Jackie. okay? Because you are amazing. I have been super impressed. In terms of my class, it's design, engineering, art, and physics, and you're the balance of everything. If I can give an award for deep, you know, the design, engineering, art, and physics student, that would be you. Just because you did amazingly beautiful work, and yes, you had a partner that was really difficult to have, but you really stepped it up, and you did more than more than anything, you know.
Thank you.
I know how tough it was. I know that the soldering was an issue too, the circuit and all this kind of stuff. But the work you did was just phenomenal. And so if there was a student of the year for me, that would be you, Jackie.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely. This was,
Yay, Jackie.
I'm going to have one request though, because I
Alright.
want to share the work you do. Could you add pictures or work for each one of these?
I don't have, if you scroll down, I do have one photo.
Okay.
It should be of me at the science fair. I could even like totally make that like same pose right now. It's like a yeah.
So for each section,
For
could
each
you put a
section,
piece of evidence though? You know, so like not the purpose one,
Yeah.
but the research,
Definitely, yeah.
brainstorm, and planning and prototype. Because
Do you want
I
me
want to show people your work.
Yeah.
Okay, so it could be from any class or whatever you wrote up here.
All
okay?
right.
Whatever
Do you want me to
can
like find them right now, or
Yep.
just
by
upload
Friday.
them? All right.
By Friday?
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
It'd probably
Do it today,
take you-
most likely.
yeah. If you finish
Yeah.
it today, just
I
email
already
me.
have feelings of like what I could already put on there.
I know.
Like, I made a little handout for my science festival thing for phosphorescence, where nothing was really phosphorescent.
Yeah. They were all fluorescent.
They were all fluorescent. Oopsie. It's kind of hard to make phosphorescent stuff, but I was able to tell the kids, you know that none of this is phosphorescent? It was great. I made a mascot for my project from a good old game that was like very old called Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix. There's this Martian. It's great.
And I have to tell you, I've had students do phosphorescence in the past, and they never like get it. You know what I mean? No one says, well, these aren't phosphorescent. Really, they're actually just fluorescent, and nobody knows it. You know, so listen, you knew it. You knew your topic so well. You know,
I
and
had to
just
research.
yeah, exactly. So you just researched so well on that, and it was really, really impressive. So
Thank you.
kudos.
Thank you. Proud of you, Jackie. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Ted.
Of course.